Hi, Carol. Great to see you. How's it going today?
Having a fantastic day. Thanks, Michael.
Oh, that's great to hear. And thank you again for agreeing to do this testimonial today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you. So maybe we start off with you telling us just a little bit about yourself, your role, and CrewSelect.
Sure. CrewSelect exists on both sides of the country. So I'm in Perth. Head office is in Brisbane, and business has existed for 6 years. I started the operations for the business here about just over 2 years ago. We're a team of five here. So I have a business development person, a couple of recruiters, and an admin person. So we're a recruitment and labour hire business.
Fantastic. Thank you. And so tell us a little bit about your situation and what were the things happening before you started the coaching with myself.
Yeah, so the business owner and myself had been participating for a little while now in a, a business leadership development and business growth program that required us to go away every 3 months for a few days at a time. And that had kind of run its course. And we got together and talked and decided off the back end of that, as individual leaders for our teams, we felt we needed more development for us. Not so much that financial and strategic business growth stuff, we'd locked that in really well, but recognised that we had maxed out what we were going to get from that group. So we went looking for someone to support us as the leaders in the business individually and together, but more importantly to run our own path and explore what we can do better as leaders with a coach that was the right person for us.
Okay, great. So looking for something that was the right person for you and to give you more individualized approach to your leadership development.
Yeah, so Tim's needs are quite different than mine. He has a much more established team than I do, and a very different market that he plays in, and ours is a different situation altogether. So we can't just sit in the same room and get the same thing, because it's not going to give us what we need. So we went looking for someone who could support both of us individually, but keep us on the same path to that business growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what have been the benefits that you found from doing the coaching?
I think, and you and I have said this a few times, like most leaders, we get a little caught up in we're the leader because a lot of times we're the person who's got the most knowledge about every aspect of the business and the roles within it. And the trap with that is you also end up being the single pool of knowledge and the go-to person for every little problem all of the time. So like most leaders of teams, I have sometimes done a really good job and sometimes really struggled to let go. And I tended to give and take. So I would give someone something and then go, no, I'll do that for you. That doesn't help anyone, least of all myself. And it doesn't allow me to be free to go and do the things I need to do. So I think the biggest benefit for me and my team has been I've gotten time back. I've got hours back every week that I didn't have before because I forced myself to do it. But the payoff has been to the team in that if I'm not around, they have to figure it out for themselves. And the truth of it is they're more than capable. So there's continuous work being done on that, but they're more empowered. I'm freer. I'm delivering my strategic objectives to the business, and they're forced somewhat to learn and grow faster because I'm simply not here as much.
That's an amazing change and great insight that you've shared there.
It's not easy, but it's working.
It's the most common challenge that comes up. So perhaps you could share, because most managers and leaders kind of at one level know what you've just said that they've got to change, but most struggle to do it. So what about the coaching helped you to make that transition?
I particularly needed somebody who would hold me to account. So we have the lovely conversations and we talk about the possibilities and what if you did this, Caryl, and what if you did that? And I nod and I smile. And unless someone holds me to account and says, here's what you need to go away and do, here's what you've agreed to, and then the next time we catch up, that's the first thing you say is, you agreed to this, you agreed to that, you agreed to something else. Have you done those things? So being held to account has been really valuable because not only have I made a promise to myself and my team, but I've made a promise to you. And it would be a waste of time, effort, energy, and money if I didn't keep that promise. So that's been really good. It's like going to PT. You know, you've got a personal trainer. If you don't practice your push-ups, then you can't do the 10 that they need you to do. You're wasting your time. So you're my business PT.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's been really valuable. Probably more than I expected. I think the gains have been greater over a fairly short period of time than I expected, but that's because we picked out things that could be done to have a big impact, and when they're done and they're practiced and they're locked in, funny that, it works.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
how are you feeling now? You've expressed to me a few times that how it's changed how you're feeling right at the moment.
I feel stronger as a leader. I feel like I've created space and I've created a situation where it's okay for me to not be all of the answers all of the time. So I changed some of my language back to the team when they do ask a question. You know, it's sort of almost feel like a bit of a psychologist. Is I ask them how they feel about that situation. What would you do? My situation is a little unique in that I have an immediate time pressure because I'm going to be away for an entire month, which freaks me out completely, but has also made me act where otherwise I might not have. So it's been really good to be able to say, okay, we need to start to pretend that I'm not here because I'm not going to be here. So here's what you would do. And in the room, there's plenty of knowledge. They can handle this stuff. It's really been me getting the hell out of the way.
Yeah, and that's something that you mentioned that's come through is that, that was a bit scary to think about being away for a month, that now you've got to a position where you're feeling really confident. And you said to me last time that you're feeling at peace more than you have, more content than you have for some time.
Yeah, I am absolutely confident that no matter what happens, there's enough knowledge in the room and there's enough work being done so that someone's got the answers, or collectively the answers are there, and they don't necessarily need me to tell them how to manage this tiny little minor issue with a client, or even some of the big ones.
Excellent.
They can be each other's backup. I don't have to be everybody's backup anymore.
Yeah, you've set that up well.
Mm.
So, Caryl, what would you say to anyone who's considering doing the leadership coaching with me?
I think you absolutely have to be ready for it, and you have to be prepared to be held to account. If you are frustrated at all by the way the team runs and you know there's potential that's not being tapped into, this is the way to start. And this is a way to get back some of the joy for your own role in your business, whether you work for someone else as an employee leader or whether it's your own business. We go into business and we start businesses because we love that industry or that sector or that market. And we lose some of that joy when we have to be everybody's solution all of the time. And it is not going to get you the growth you're looking for. So having someone help you get the hell out of the way of your team is the key to success.
Right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right. Thanks, Caryl.
Thanks.